With the newest content expansion of Varlamore comes a new area for us to explore, Alderan, a pretty big island located not far from the southwestern coast of Varlamore. Decorated with lush greenery and stone villas, it's home to the largest vineyard in all of Galanor. Alderan becomes host to a ton of new resources to discover, including a passive way to train cooking similar to farming, a new herblore minigame to play, new spots to train mining and woodcutting. But what I've been taking advantage of most is the new hops patch located right in the center of Alderan and conveniently placed next to a fairy ring. I farm yanillian hops, and I highly recommend you to start farming them as well. Here's why. Yanillian hops are used to pay protection for mahogany trees to grow in hardwood patches. This is highly recommended because mahogany trees take 85 hours to grow, and paying protection guarantees them to be alive and healthy when you return 3.5 days later. 25 yanillian hops are needed per tree, so you'll need 100 of them to pay protection on all 4 trees you're able to grow, making them a pretty desirable item that quickly sells. Yanillian hops are only worth 1,100 each at the time I'm recording this, but this is where it gets exciting. Hops are a pretty high yielding crop to begin with, but as you level up, your yield continues to increase. Use Ultra Compost and you can expect to harvest around 27 hops per patch, and with the addition of Alderan, you can multiply that by the now 5 hop patches and expect around 135 hops, worth around 150k GP, every hour for 5 minutes of work. If I still haven't convinced you, hourly crops means you can do 4 hop runs in the same time it takes to do 3 herb runs, and it's literally half the amount of patches you have to run to. If you still want more, you can further increase your yield by using the magical secateurs from the quest Fairy Tale 1 to increase your yield by 10%. And at level 76 farming, you can plant an Addis seed in the anima patch of the farming guild to increase your yield even more. When using Ultra Compost, holding magical secateurs, and with my Addis seed planted, my yield increases from around 135 hops to a whopping average of 175 hops harvested every hour, worth around 180k GP, from just 5 patches. To start doing this is very inexpensive, and you really only need a few things to start. Your spade, seed dibbler, and rake, and a handful of yanillian hop seeds. You will use 4 seeds per patch, so you really only need 20 seeds, but I personally just bought 1,000 of them because they're so cheap, and I'll likely never run out. To use the Alderan patch will require you to travel to Varlamore, meaning you will need to complete the quest Children of the Sun, which unlocks the Quetzal transport system for quick traveling all around Varlamore. You don't need anything else, but some things I'd highly recommend are baskets of tomatoes to pay protection for your hops, buckets of Ultra Compost, elemental and law runes to travel quickly around the map. You could have your house at Yanille and use a house teleport or teleport tabs. Or you could have the Watchtower quest done and use the Hard Achievement Diary to teleport to the Watchtower. I'd also recommend you have Enlightened Journey done so that you can use the balloon transport system, and I'd also recommend you have the Graceful outfit and the Magical Secateurs from Fairy Tale 1. I personally make hop runs part of my herb runs, and I bring everything I need to do both in one inventory. I'll run and do all my hops first, then empty the seeds and payment out of my inventory, and then I'll run and do my herb patches after, or vice versa. You can use what I've shown you to develop your own preferred path that fits your playstyle, but I'll show you now how I personally do hop runs. Starting in no particular order, however, if I'm able to time it right, I will end my tree runs in Taverley so I can then quickly jump on the balloon transport system and head to Intrana. Some ways you could get to Intrana are going to be the balloon transport system from Enlightened Journey. You could also talk to the monks in Port Sarum and travel by sea. This is free. You could also use the Law Altar via the Abyss in the wilderness. We're then going to go to Lumbridge. I personally just teleport Lumbridge and just run north past the cows, and right after the chicken coop you'll find a Lumbridge patch. You can also get there by using the Chronicle from Diango and teleport just outside the Champions Guild, or you could use a combat bracelet to do the same thing. You can also take a canoe. Next, we're going to go to Sears. To get here, I just Camelot teleport and run past Sears Bank and then start running northwest to find a patch north of McGruber's Wood. Some other ways to get here would be if you have the Music Cape, the teleport is directly north of the patch. You could also use the combat bracelet again to teleport to the Range Guild. There's a fairy ring code ALS that will teleport you to McGruber's Wood. Next, we're going to go to Yanille. I use the Watchtower teleport and I run up this way. You could also have your house in Yanille and use a house teleport tab or teleport house spell. You could also use the minigame teleport to the Nightmare Zone. You could also use fairy ring code CIQ. Next, we're going to go to Alderan. So you could use fairy ring code CKQ and that will teleport you directly next to the hops patch. But what I personally do is just teleport Varlamore, then take the Quetzal transport system to Alderan and run north. And that's it. An hour from now, you can run back to each of your crops, harvest, and replant. Since we can do 4 hop runs in 240 minutes, but only 3 herb runs in 240 minutes, let's assume we do that. So 3 herb runs of the most profitable herb at an average of 56 herbs per run of 8 patches that I do would equal about 168 herbs, worth around 1.3 mil. But minus the price of the 24 seeds, our profit is only 353k. Now if we do 4 hop runs in the same 240 minutes at an average of 170 hops per 5 hop patches, then we'll have 680 yanillian hops worth 769,000 GP, minus the price of the seeds, minus the price of the payment, and our profit is 769,000 coins, which is more than double the profit of herb runs, half the patches, and is a lower buy-in cost at a lower level too. Leave a like on this video or add it to a playlist of your choice, then come back to this video an hour from now and let me know how it goes.